What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Thank you for stopping in. Today, I have my list of the best production knives of the year. Now, there will be a cap, um, so it won't be anything over like $400, basically. So it'll be like 400 and under because that is where I pretty much stay. Um, so there will be, that is the cap. Pretty much anything below 250, like 200 is out too. So it's basically between like 2 and 400 bucks. And these are the ones that I've gotten this year that I've used. There are certain knives that I haven't used yet this year or bought or got to handle. Um, so if there's a certain knife that you think should have been in this list, it probably could be or should be, but I didn't get to handle it. So this is just my list from what I have from the year. Um, so I've been gonna do this video for quite a while. I was gonna do a top five, um, but I could not get it past six. Um, and I couldn't eliminate one. I really couldn't. I've been thinking about it for quite a few days, and there's just not one of these six that I could knock out, me, myself. So the first couple are really not in a particular order. The last, I guess the last two would be, well, we'll go with none of them except the very last one, in my opinion. So we'll start off. This would technically be number six. This is just where I thought we would start. This is the Divo Knives Stout. This came out a couple months ago, probably like the middle of the year, like second quarter, third quarter. Uh, This comes from Kevin and Colin, the company that they have started this year, and this is their first design together. Um, what they really did here is design a knife that pretty much anyone can carry with any size hands. Uh, they made it comfortable, easy to use for lefties and righties, and they give you an awesome blade shape to make this an EDC knife. You can do a lot of cuts with this style of blade, and because of how thick it is up here, it really enforces this tip. So you can really get into something with this type of blade. It's really cool. I don't have anything quite like this, and that's why it's so cool. I have tons of other sheepsfoots, but there's just something about how they gave this like little swedge here almost, and it really makes this very sturdy, almost a little front heavy, which is good, in my opinion, because I use my knives. So having that little bit of heft up there is nice. And what else that does is makes for an awesome open because of that weight and a close. There's nothing aftermarket in this knife. I think I've only dropped oil in it once, just one drop on each side, and it actually didn't even need it. I only do that just to keep things lubed up, just a little bit. But this is ridiculous. And it's hydraulic too, like a faster hydraulic. Uh, but it's got an amazing action. It's got amazing action, comfortability, cutting, opening, closing. It's very well done. So that is the Divo Knives Stout. We're not going to go over specs and all that stuff. I'm just going to talk about each one for a few minutes. But just an awesome knife. You can no longer get these. Kevin and Colin are working on a version 2. So there will be another version coming. A little more premium even than this. So we all look forward to that. So that is the Divo Knives Stout by Kevin and Colin. Awesome dudes, making awesome gear. That's what I always say. Alright, next up, we have the Maverick S by Christensen Knifeworks. Matthew Christensen. OEM by Riot. Micarta. Zirconium on all of the hardware, clip, pivot collar, backspacer, thumb studs. Awesome knife. This list is going to be very tough for me to do, because at one point in time throughout the year, these were all some of my favorite knives, like in my opinion the best. And as far as I can tell, my list, even though I haven't gotten to experience every knife, and I don't know that anyone does, a lot of people are also gonna be putting some of the knives that I have in theirs as well, I'm guessing. There's been some people I've seen that haven't had basically any of these, and then there's some that I've seen just spread out. But all these are gonna be based off how well they cut and carry and feel. That's what this list is based off of. Just premium feel, a premium cutter, a good design that's comfortable and useful. You're going to get there's going to be a theme to all of these knives, and we will see that by the end. But this is a masterpiece. A nice, simple design, very neutral, but just so well done. So useful. It's nice and thin. This is one hell of a cutter. And I look forward to getting the frame lock version of this at some point in time. Or maybe even another liner lock. We will see, but I do see another one of these in my future. So that is the Christensen Knifeworks Maverick S. Awesome little knife. These can still be found, but it will not be easy. Next up, we have the EDC Nymble. And this kind of represents this one in particular, but it also represents all the knives that John has put out this year. He just does a phenomenal job. John at EMPEDC, the owner, designer there. He just continues to, he's an animal when it comes to putting out new knives, new versions of knives, new gear. He's just nonstop, and it's awesome to be a part of and see and watch happen. And luckily I get to acquire some of the stuff that he does come out with. I'd love to have more, but I have what I need, I guess. I'm waiting on the relative, which will be next year, and it will be awesome. I'm almost sure of it. But nice Warney style blade, nice and tall. This is a hell of a cutter, and it's so comfortable, ridiculously comfortable. It's amazing, an amazing design, well done. I love this knife, and this knife will be featured in at least one more of my videos for wrapping up the end of the year. So that is the Nymble W by EDC, the smooth titanium one. There will be more versions of this coming out as well. I'm almost positive. The Tanto 2 has already been announced. More Nymble X's are definitely coming. OG Nymbles will be done in other versions, and I'm sure the W will also be coming out in some new versions. All right, next up, the Brass Brigade Grant Gripper. This is by Jason Grant. This is just, this was, I do like, I like the Nymble more in the sense that it looks a little cleaner and it just feels like it was fit for my hand. It just, whoops, has a little bit more curve and stuff to it. But this knife is phenomenal. I mean, if this is 99.99, this is 99.98. So it's, everything here is so astronomically close to each other. Like I said, these aren't in a particular order, so the Nymble isn't necessarily number 4. It's just, this is the order I'm doing them, and that's kind of what I was sticking to. But the Grant Gripper is a full-size knife, and I mean a full-size knife. It's got a nasty Wharncliffe blade, jimping from heel to front. Just an awesome piece from Jason Grant. 3D milled clip with his little logo there. It looks badass. Brass collar. Everything is well done. He did a phenomenal job on this knife. And it is one hell of a cutter. I took this to work many times this year and put it through quite a bit of material, and it just shined like a diamond. You can get right up on it for real detailed or power type cutting, controlled cutting. This is a great knife for EDC. Allows you to get in behind stuff, which I'm a big fan of. Just an awesome piece of kit here. You really couldn't do, if you had this as your knife of the year, you couldn't argue it. This is a phenomenal knife by Jason Grant and Best Tech OEM'd. Very well done. He will not be making more of these, at least that's what he has said. There will be a smaller version coming out and a Tanto version coming out, but as far as he has said, these will not be coming back out anytime soon. That's what he said. So next up are 2 newer knives, 4th quarter knives, and I'm putting them up here at the top because they have quickly become 2 of my favorite knives. First up is the Brown Raptor V2. This thing is just, this is the DLT exclusive. This thing is just immaculate. So well done. Everything is, the edge is awesome. The blade is awesome. You got that nice thick tip up there. It's slicey as hell. It's so comfortable. The grip is one of them. It's a little skinnier, but it flares here, so you get a nice grip on it. Perfect in my opinion. You got a nice little spoon type deal there that you can get your thumb in and really get into it, and then you can also climb up right behind the edge there. You can get right up on the tip. Just an awesome knife. I love this knife. It was a gift from my fiance for Christmas, and it is just amazing. Amazing. If it stays like this, it's definitely one of the knives of the year. The action is awesome. It just it just screams out of there. It's got a nice detent. It's smooth as butter. It's still breaking in, but it's just, this is an awesome knife. Great knife. All right, so I've been saying this for the last like 2-3 weeks. The GOM, the Renegade Provisions Co GOM. This thing is amazing. This is number one in my opinion. As far as an EDC knife, that is a production knife that you're gonna want, that you could really truly use, that is amazing in all of its specs and characteristics. You got a well done, well sized Warncliffe blade, jimping up top for your thumb there, a nice little ramp. This is an awesome slicer. This has not left my pocket or my waistband since the night I opened it up. I love this knife. It is just amazing. It's so comfortable. It's got this nice back spacer, which really aids in comfort and heavy duty use. The milled clip is comfortable. Now, not that you're going to buy this knife and just go out and trash it. By what I mean by heavy duty use is you could take this to, if you're like a carpenter or something, you could easily take this in and put this knife through some work. Now you're going to want to keep the bearings cleaned. And that's typically why a lot of now there's some gunk and dirt in some of my knives, but I try to keep them clean because of what I work in each day. And gunk will find its way in there if you're not careful. I know somebody was saying that the reverse flick is hurting their finger. What I would recommend is just pick one spot on the edge up here and just kind of use the meat of your finger. That way you're kind of staying on the outside. It doesn't bother me. I love thumb flicking this out. It does have some like stepping in there, which is meant to grab you. So I could see where some people, it might kind of bother their hands. My hands are so trash that, it don't bother me. It actually feels good knowing that there's some grip in there. I know some people don't like it. I do. It's grabbing you, which is another thing I love. You're not gonna slip over it, not very easily anyway. But this knife is the perfect size for me. It's the perfect blade shape, which 5 out of the 6 of these were all Warncliffe or sheep's foot, except for the Raptor. That was the only one that wasn't a sheep's foot or Warncliffe. And they're all very similar in size. The gripper being a little bigger than normal and the Maverick being a touch smaller. But they were all basically in that same size range, especially the GOM, the Raptor, the Nymble W, the Stout, and then the Maverick isn't far off from like the Raptor or the Nymble W, even the Stout. But perfect size, perfect blade, perfect ergonomics. I mean, it's just amazing. So amazing that I would love to have one with a black blade. So maybe someday I can get me one of them. But an amazing job. It's been an amazing year. An incredible year for budget knives. An incredible year for mid-level knives. Between $200 and $500 or whatever. And then a shout out to the budget knife of the year, which was the Pinion from Knives Fast KC up there. or down there, I guess, to me. So it's been a phenomenal year. And this is only a small taste of what has come out this year. There is a ton, and I mean a ton of smaller, private knife designers that are gonna keep pumping awesome designs out. Every one of these is like a small knife maker, and they all have more stuff to come. So I'm excited. It's been an awesome year. I look forward to another awesome year of knife buying and knife craziness. I love it, and I love everyone in the community. If you're still here, thank you. Hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you're still here and you're not subbed, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night.